A lot has been said about the lack of skilled labor in this country, but Haney Technical Center gives a lot of the answers and a lot of the skills that you need to be competitive in today's workforce. I'm going to take a peek behind the scenes right after your local weather, brought to you by the West Pittman Law Firm, westpittmanlawfirm.com. Welcome back to the show. I'm here with Mike Heppenstall. He's the director of Haney Technical Center. And Mike, thanks so much for letting us come inside and take a look around.
You're more than welcome. It's a privilege for us to have you here.
Well, I got to tell you, and we talked a little bit off camera about technical education, and there's just so many misconceptions about it. You know, I graduated high school in a time and a place where everybody had to have a shop class to graduate high school. That's not so much anymore, is it?
No, it's the emphasis has changed. They're looking at students more college focused. Mm-hmm. There is a career focus going on right now, and the direction of focusing and trying to get students in the career fields is growing, but it's a slow process because when they remove the industrial arts classes from the middle schools and then from the high schools, it really dampered and put a negative, in my opinion, a negative image on career technical education.
Yeah, I think kids are only getting half an education now because they're not being exposed to, you know, like I was, wood shop, metal shop, printing shop, mechanical drafting. I had all of that in what we used to call junior high school.
Right.
And then in high school, auto mechanics. And I was in a college discovery program in high school. I still had to take a shop. Mm-hmm. You know, because I think as a nation, we need people to fix things.
Absolutely.
And don't you think it's kind of a misconception that people who are in a technical education maybe aren't as smart as people who are college bound? Yeah,
that is a huge misconception, because you used to have the shade tree mechanics or the welders, you know, that you wouldn't think of a welder today needing to know and be able to do trigonometry, geometry.
I understand what you're trying to say about the technical education. You know, academics figures very prominently into technical education.
Right.
I mean, anybody who's had a new car worked on, first thing they do is they plug it into a computer.
Right.
And so there's a lot to know. I had an old car in New York, and I went to a shop where he was a Korean guy, and their technical education is quite different than ours is here.
Right.
And I told him I needed a belt, but I didn't have the old belt with me. He said, "That's okay, I can figure it out." He measured the distance between the flywheels. He measured the circumference of each wheel. He did some calculations, and he gave me the belt I needed, and it fit perfectly.
Right.
I mean, who can do that nowadays, really,
right,
without having the old belt or knowing the specs? He was
Yeah.
able to whip out a mathematical formula and figure out the right size.
And, you know, with career technical education, and nothing against college. I went to college, and my kids have gone to college, but my kids also, I put them in career technical education because not everybody's college bound, but everybody needs something to fall back on, because not everybody's going to have a full scholarship to go to college. So if they were to get a career training and be able to enter a career field of either above entry level and make $15 an hour instead of minimum wage, how much better off are they going to be not having to take student loans out to be able to pay for college if they wish to continue their education?
I mean, that is a really good question, and I think we're really not serving our kids well when we give them just academics and no technical. We got to run off to a break, but on the other side of that, maybe you can show me around a little bit.
Sure.
And show me some of the skills that people can learn if they come to Haney Technical Center.
Absolutely.
Welcome back to the show. I'm here with David Powell from Innovations Credit Union. Welcome to the show, David.
Oh, thanks for having me, Don.
Welcome back, I actually should say.
Yeah.
So what's going on at the credit union nowadays?
Well, you know, we've been very busy lately, Don. We have had a huge influx of both businesses coming in to open checking accounts and businesses coming in asking for loans of all sizes. I had a request yesterday for $10,000, and I also have a request for $500,000, and I have several in between. So We're seeing a lot of activity picking up, people buying office buildings, people refinancing investment property, people needing checking accounts for their small business.
Are there
So a
new
lot of
businesses
activities.
coming in, or is it established businesses, or just a good mix of both?
I will tell you, I get a lot of phone calls of folks that have jobs that they've been in for 5, 10, 15, 20 years, and they have some idea and they want to start up a little business on the side, and so they'll often call up and say, hey, what do I need to do to start a business, to get a little checking account, and we'll provide advice on how to go through those steps, filing the appropriate paperwork with the state, getting a tax ID number, opening up a checking account.
Oh, so you'll do all that?
And we do that. And then
wow.
we
Okay.
also refer a lot of small businesses for things like business plans and some financial advice to go to the Small Business Development Center over at Gulf Coast College. Those folks over there do fine work, very qualified to help small businesses with startup questions, with, like I said, with business plans and advice like that. And that's in the new ATC building at Gulf Coast.
I actually reached out to them at one point too.
I'll tell you, their
Yeah.
services are free to the public, and it's a little known thing. A lot of people don't know about it, but they've got very experienced, I call them business counselors, to help the small business person with those kind of startup questions and business plans. So I would encourage any small business to go there. I send probably a person every other week over to the Small Business Development Center for that kind of thing.
And you could just Google that up, right?
You can Google Small Business Development Center, Panama City, and it'll show you. But again, it's in the new ATC building at Gulf Coast, very accessible. And so we have a lot of activity about that. So to answer your question, it's a combination of people with existing jobs having an idea and wanting to do something new or different.
I'm familiar with that syndrome. Yes.
Yeah. And there are a few just general startups where somebody has quit their job or retired and has something that they want to do that's small on the side to kind of make extra money. But I'm seeing a lot of activity, a lot of phone calls in that regard. And then in the borrowing world right now, in the commercial loan side specifically, a lot of folks are taking advantage still of low rates, where they have loans maturing at some of the big banks, and it turns out our rates on commercial loans in a lot of cases are a little better than some of the big banks. And so word's kind of getting around that Innovations has got some money to lend on the commercial side, and it's very competitive. And so as folks have these loans that are renewing, they're finding us, calling us, saying, hey, what can I do? What kind of rate can I get? What kind of terms can I get? So we've got a pretty big pipeline right now of commercial loans on commercial real estate.
That's great. And I'll tell you, the selling point for me was the free business checking.
I'll tell you,
That was huge for me. I mean, it's only like $10 a month at other places, but that's $10.
For a small business guy, $10 a month.
$10 is $10.
You know, that's things you could buy some other things with, or product, or do things with. So we do provide free checking for any business that shows up, and as you know, that free checking also comes with a free debit card and free internet banking. So we don't pay, or we don't charge you a fee to use our internet banking and bill payment service. So it's really a good deal for a small business person to come, and we got some convenient branches. You know, we got 6 branches in Bay County.
I know it.
So all the way from the west end of the beach, Thomas Drive, downtown,
We're
Callaway,
right across the street
Lynn
from the studio here,
right
too.
across the street from the studio. So we got some great branch coverage in Bay County for small businesses for sure.
Do you think this busy period for you is indicative of an uptick in the local economy?
I think a little bit is uptick. I think the reason we're busy is a couple of reasons. Number one, I think that we are starting to see some activity and some real estate purchases and movement. We're starting to see, I think, consumer confidence come back a little bit, where people aren't quite as afraid to step out there and maybe start their own little business, or at least get the ideas going and flowing and seeking information and preparing. So I think the economy is part of it, consumer confidence is part of it, and then at Innovations specifically, I think part of it is that we've just launched a massive advertising campaign to try to stir up interest and let people know that we do things like have small business checking accounts for free, and we do make small business and commercial loans. So I think combination of all that stuff has really got me very busy these days.
Well, advertising works, and I'm
It
happy
sure
to say
does.
that.
It sure does.
David Powell from Innovations Credit Union, thanks so much for coming back on the show and
welcome.
getting us smart on what's going on there at Innovations. And we'll be right back after these messages. Welcome back. I'm here with Eric Johnson, and he's a welding instructor here at Haney. Eric, what are we going to see here today?
Well, right here I have one of my students, high school student, Todd Boyd. He's working on aluminum projects, and he's just going to be doing some aluminum welding here. As you can see laying there on the floor, he's building a big aluminum gantry crane for our marine mechanics class to help them lift boats and stuff to do their learn how to adjust trailers.
And he's a high school student.
He's a high school student. Todd's also he's been kind of a star student. He just finished second in the state welding competition. Did very well over there. He's got a good future ahead of him. Very good student. Very smart and very hard worker.
Well, that's good to know. We've got kids like that coming up through the ranks, because these are skills our country needs.
Yeah, they sure are.
It's important work that they're doing here. Let's get out of his way and let him get to work.
Okay.
We'll talk some more later.
Okay, the weld Todd's practicing here is called an outside corner joint. It'd be a weld like if he was building a fuel tank for a boat or a truck or something. It would be a weld that he would use, doing that. Also a weld that he's using on the gantry crane that he's making. This weld, he did a very good job. He's got real good tie-in, excellent bead formation. He would definitely get a passing grade with that.
Hey Todd, that was some display of skill there.
Thank you.
Now how old are you, Todd?
I'm 18. I'll be 19 in August.
Okay, so you're a high school senior?
Senior, yes,
okay.
sir.
And what are you going to do after school?
This summer I'm probably going to work a lot, and then next year I'll be here for half a semester, and I'm hoping to go get a good welding job somewhere.
That's great. What made you want to go into technical education?
Well, my brothers both went in here. They loved it, thought it was awesome. I had nothing else to do, and I wanted to start my future.
Right.
I didn't know I was going to be good at it, so I just came in and just enjoyed it and figured out I was pretty good. So
yeah, so you never know what you're gonna be good at unless you're exposed to it, right?
that's how it works.
And you wouldn't have gotten that in a traditional high school experience.
No.
Yeah. So what do you think about college? Do you think that's for you, or?
Not really,
Yeah.
but you never know. Like in the future, if I need a higher business education, I might go to college to get business education, but that's it.
Yeah,
So,
but right away, right after graduation, you're gonna have some skill.
I can make money and skill. So,
Yeah, at a pretty young age.
Yes, sir. It's hard work, but that's what I was built for. Hard work. So.
Well, that's good. You know what? And that's what made this country great, was hard work.
That's true.
Yeah. Well, good luck to you in your studies, and let us know how you make out after graduation.
Oh, I will. I'll call the news station.
Yeah, we'd like to see you at work, maybe building ships or something.
Yeah,
Who knows?
that's my plan.
Wouldn't that be cool?
Yep.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. I'm here with Bobby Miller, and he is the marine mechanics instructor here at Haney. And Bobby, now you've got an interesting history yourself. I know you were an Air Force veteran. You're a retiree. You were an aircraft mechanic.
Right.
You also worked for the show Survivor. I see you got the Survivor shirt on. You were a marine mechanic with them.
Yes.
And you traveled throughout the Pacific to Palau and some really exotic locations because of your skill with engines or marine motors, right?
That's correct.
And now here you are passing that knowledge forward here at Haney Technical Center. And what am I looking at? This is your shop, I guess.
The guys over there working on one, they're doing the steering. Steering's locked up on the engine. So they're redoing the steering as far as fixing it, put it back where it's unlock it, put it back on. These guys right here, we're installing gas tanks where you had to glass those pieces in, a wedge underneath the gas tank, so they're fixing the gas tanks. The guy over there rewiring a boat on it. So basically what we do here is we start at the bottom, the trailer of the boat, and go all the way through the engines. On these over here, the guys are rebuilding. We got a motor we're rebuilding, a Yamaha, and we're servicing an engine out here. And we service for the public. We've done about 50 projects this year for the public. They brought boats in, we fixed them, and they took them back out.
So it's not just mechanics. When you think marine mechanic, you think working on the engines and motors. But these guys are doing electrical. They're doing, I guess, fiberglass.
Glass work.
They're doing all kinds of stuff.
Anything on a boat that accident can be done to the boat, we try to do.
Now, is there any typical student that you have here, or are they all different ages, or who's your
I
typical student?
got high school students. That's a senior in high school, all the way up to guys who are in the early 50s.
Is there a need for these type skills?
Oh yes. Right now, in my placement for all the students that have came through here, I got about a 99% placement.
Wow.
And the people out in the field for different marinas. I've got one guy that finished last year is now working for Bubba Hart, his marina. You got one guy's fixing to start at Pirates Cove Marina. He's coming out of his class.
And not just locally, you can get jobs anywhere in the country. Yeah.
Well, anywhere in the country, in the world. Like with me, working Survivor. I never thought I'd go in Survivor, being a boat mechanic.
You were working for a TV show
Right.
as a boat mechanic.
That's correct.
That's pretty amazing when you think about it.
And then you don't know where this is going to go to you. Right now, we're editing our program from Tallahassee. We got 5 marinas on webcast that we're redoing our curriculum to update it to the new for the new stuff. I've got marinas here locally that is on my advisory council that they'll come. We got to meet twice a year. They'll come in, say what the actual need is for out in the public, what they're looking for.
What the trends are too,
Right.
the new improvements.
And right now, everything going out of inboards going into outboards.
Is there any special certification that you need to work on inboards or outboards? Or
Well, basically, in here, just a basic knowledge you understand the principle of the engine. Okay, once you get hired on to a dealership, whatever their motor specialized, they'll send you to that specialized schools.
so this is like the basic school where you'll learn it all,
Right.
and then you can go specialize with whatever company
Where
you
it
work
comes there
for
at.
afterwards.
Right.
And you have a 99% placement rate after that.
Right.
That's
and
amazing.
we have this year Yamaha Motors, the school up there has donated to the school here an F350, an F50, and an F25 for the school
Wow.
so we can actually use to work on. So we get a new technology here in the class so that they can actually work on, because everything is going computerized, going digital. Digital controls, everything is digital.
Sure.
So we're teaching all that.
So you got to be pretty smart to do all that stuff.
Oh yes, and everything now is being diagnostic by a computer. So you got to be computer savage as far as to go into computer to look at, to understand it, and to troubleshoot, know what you're looking at.
So you really got to know it all, don't you, Bobby,
Yes.
to be able to work on
That is
here.
correct.
Well, thank you so much for what
You're
you're doing
welcome.
out here, and this has been really cool looking at this stuff.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right. I'm here with Frank Stevens. He's the director of the Aviation Academy here at Haney. And Frank, thanks so much for letting us get a peek behind the scenes here. What am I looking at here? What's going
This
on?
is a simulator. It's an amazing piece of equipment. This is accepted by the FAA, this particular simulator, that a person who has got uncurrent with their instruments, you come in here and not only get their training, their hours they need to require to be requalified, but actually take their test right on this equipment
Yeah,
and
now
be
you-
recertified instrument. That's how sophisticated this particular test stand is.
Now, I'm going to embarrass you for a minute because I know you have a great background in aviation. You're a retired general, aren't you?
Well, that's what they say.
Yeah, okay.
I call
okay.
it.
So
Yeah.
you've got years and years of experience in aviation, and you're bringing all that experience to bear right here at Haney. What do your typical students look like? Are they high school kids? Are they older people?
We can have
Pilots?
high school students. We have had high school students all the way through here. And of course, a high school student here in Bay County can come to the school for free and
Right.
get their A&P license by the time they're through high school.
A&P is an airframe and power plant license.
You got it right on. And it's an amazing thing. And of course, also all adults. We have adults here from 18 years of age up through probably 50 years of age.
Yeah, and at one point in
Become-
my career, I was a crew chief on 141s at McGuire, and
okay.
and a lot of my friends were going for their A&P license.
Sure.
Then, and it's a lot of hard work, but there are rich rewards.
We have a lot of people from Tyndall also coming here and working on their A&P license also.
So it's not just the simulators and the really cool stuff that you do here, but there's a lot of the nuts and bolts
That's
things.
right.
Well,
We
maybe-
just had one of our students in their U.S. skills. He got in first place, won the gold at state level in competition in the U.S. skills in the
Wow.
aviation field, A&P mechanic.
That's quite an achievement.
And he'll now be going to the national in Kansas City, Missouri, and hopefully he'll win there. That'd be quite a bonnet for Haney Tech Center to wear.
So you can learn how to fly planes here. You can stay recertified on planes. You can learn how to fix planes here, airframe, power plant, everything.
That is true.
You can do it all. Maybe you can show me around a little bit.
Sure, be glad
Let's take a
to.
look. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Don't like that red. All right, now I want to throttle back here a little bit. See if we can set her down. Maybe not so much. I don't have enough runway in front of me to do this. Yeah, well, let's try and put her down. Let's see what happens. Well, no good, no good, no good. Oh yeah, we're down though. That's all right. Come on the grass. Haney Technical School is really a hidden gem here in Bay County, and Mike Heppenstall, director of Haney Tech, thanks so much for letting me get behind the scenes here and learning more about it. Now, if someone's watching this and they want to learn more about it, what can they do?
Well, they can go to our website, Bay District Schools, and look up under Haney and get information about our school. Or they can come by and talk to one of our guidance counselors or our career counselor, as Miss Drayton here. And
Yeah,
she
Kimberly
can walk.
Drayton, career specialist here at the school, is the one who actually got me in behind the scenes here. And thanks so much, Kimberly, for...
Thank you for coming, as we really appreciate it.
Yeah.
I wish you could stay longer.
Well, geez, I may take a welding class. You know I need that. The flying I'm going to give up on. But thanks again, guys.
Thank
And
you.
thanks for
Thank
letting
you.
me in behind the scenes.
Thank you, Don.
And we'll see you next time.